Right, legends, you know what time it is. It's BTC yearly forecast time. What a year we have had. Congratulations for making it through the year. We made it. We did another year in our lives. Congratulations, guys. In this video, you know what's going to happen. You are going to go down a deep dive with me into my mind. I'm going to tell you the long term. We'll start with the long term. We'll go medium term, short term, Bitcoin price analysis. We'll talk about the broader crypto sphere. We'll speak about the macro. We'll obviously go down into lower time frames, and we'll start with the higher time frame analysis of Bitcoin and what I think is going to happen in 2024. Obviously, guys, like I did last year, I did my 1st of January, the beginning of this year, 2023 Bitcoin forecast. And if I don't say so myself, guys, that was a pretty legendary, cool prediction for 2023. You know, this is unheard of in the game. I did a year-long prediction, guys, and pretty much every single step of the way, everything happened perfectly as predicted, as you've heard on this channel multiple times. But I highly recommend watching that video as well, because I do speak about 2024 in that video. But, guys, let's get straight into it, the long term. And obviously, guys, like I said in the last year, I said do your predictions in the comments. So comment your predictions. I will read all of your predictions, the best prediction down there. I will give you $100 of Bitcoin, and I'll give you a free lifetime membership of MDX. I'm actually going to give more this time away than the $100. I'm going to give a 0.01 of Bitcoin. That could be anything in a year. So do your comments below, guys, and compete in that competition for the best analysis. And just give me your whole idea of what you think is going to happen. The prize is just the prize, but give me an idea of what you think is going to happen as well. It's a community-driven video, essentially. It's really good hearing what you guys think and bringing those things together. And, guys, stay to the end of this video as well, because I do have a surprise I'm going to be announcing for some VIP members. Well, they might become VIP members. Anyway, let me get into it, guys. I'm getting excited already for the yearly forecast. It's a big video. You know, sit back, relax, get the popcorn out. I'm going to go through everything. Watch the video from the start to the finish. I promise you'll get more value from this video than you will do probably watching fucking hundreds of hours of other content out there, especially in the crypto space. So, guys, these are the yearly candles you're looking at on the chart. And in my prior year, I drew out the highs and the lows of these candles, okay? And I'm going to click one button, and you're going to see it on the screen. Bang. These are the levels marked out, the highs and lows of the yearly candles, guys. The 12-month candles, the big daddies. You know, these are very powerful candles in Bitcoin. Even on bigger, broader macro markets with higher liquidity, they're very important. They are one of the most significant candle closes you can get. The bigger the candle close, time period it took to happen, the more significant it generally is. So you can see here, guys, that we have these yearly candles, and we haven't closed it yet, but it will likely close around here. This here is the candle. You can't see it because I can't draw, actually, because I have to do a bigger area, because obviously I'm on yearlies. So you can see here, guys, this is the candle. And in my prior year video, I said that we're going to likely get a candle which comes up to around $30,000. We spend most of the year between around it was like 16,000. I said between 14 and 16,000 and $30,000. I said we spend most of the year below 30K. And I did say, like I said in my video, guys, in December, with the bullish seasonality, that end-of-year seasonality, I do think we could be trading slightly above $40,000, not $48,000. And that's exactly what I said, guys. And we're at $43,000 today, $42,600, okay? So very, very nice, guys. And another thing I want to mention as well about this candle on a yearly close is that it's up very high in comparison to the previous yearly candle. Now, if this candle miraculously, it could still happen, if this candle does close above the body of the start of this candle, this red candle, it's gray on my screen, but it's red on your screen most likely. If we do get a close of this candle above that, that'll actually be a bullish engulfing candle. And the chance of you not getting a higher candle close from a bullish engulfing candle is lower than having a candle close beneath it. So the probability increases that the next candle is going to be higher. And we'll go into that in a second, what I think 2024 is going to look like. So this is a yearly candle, guys. Everything's planned out very, very nicely. And I think it's very likely we're going to close between, you know, we could get a jet now, you know, in the next few. I'm going to go into the medium-term and short-term analysis in a second. And I do have some interesting thesis, which you might find quite, like, my community might be quite shocked what I'm about to say, actually, on the shorter-term timeframes, okay? I'm going to go into that in a second. So, yeah, look, this is a very, very good candle. It's not perfect. It could be above. It could be an engulfing, but it's not. But it's still very, very good. And I think it's going to be a close quite close to where we are today. You know, we've got a week till the end of the year. So very likely going to get it. If something crazy happens, I'll do another video, whatever. But this is the yearly end of the video. The year end of the video. This is my yearly end of the year video. So I've said very clearly, actually, guys, that I don't think we're going to break above $48,000. And there was some information, which I'll just load this up now. I should have loaded this up, actually. Let me quickly click on all these so they all load and get to it. So you can see here, guys, that I said at the beginning of the year that I would like to see this number become around between 12 and 14%. I said 14% on the video, but I went and reiterated I think between 12 and 14% would be a good number for Bitcoin to break the all-time high. We haven't got that, so we've actually got 9.4%, which kind of makes sense. We didn't get to the highs, but we didn't get the number I was talking about, the 14%. Sorry, between 12 and 14%. And what this is institutional-owned Bitcoin. So we have ETFs, countries, public companies, private companies, and BTC mining companies. And this is the percentage, almost 10% of Bitcoin is owned by institutions now. You know, it's pretty good going. You know, 10% of the supply owned by institutions. They're long-term holders. They don't have a mandate to buy and sell like a 1-minute scalper or degenning on Bitcoin. They're holding for the long term, essentially. They don't have the mandate to buy and sell that fast. These types of entities, especially ETFs. Well, you could say actually, you know, some ETFs, like future ETFs, yes, but let's just jump one step, okay? And we know the narrative right now is the BlackRock, Fidelity, Vanguard, State Street, you name it, these ETFs, the Bitcoin spot ETFs. I do think this number's going to rise, okay? Hasn't happened yet. Very likely we're going to get some sort of resolution on that BTC ETF, spot Bitcoin ETF, before the 10th of January. And I'm going to say it right now, guys, 99.9% sure it's going to happen, okay? Very, very likely. Looking at all the evidence out there, all of the articles coming out, all of the evidence, all of the adverts, all of the institutions with their tickers. They're not going to put a freaking ticker onto an exchange with the BTC ETF ticker symbol without them preparing to launch it. So it's going to happen, guys, very, very likely. And this number will likely rise. And I do think it's going to grow. I think it's maybe even going to go to 15, 20% potentially in the future. For 2024, I think the max is 20%. I don't think this gets above 20% in 2024. I do think it climbs towards it. If it goes any higher than that, it could get very crazy, this market, in terms of upside. 30% of this, if it gets to 30% of the market owned by institutions, which are ETFs, countries, public companies, private, you name it, that's a lot of Bitcoin off the books, essentially off the books. It can come into supply, but it's unlikely it's going to jump into supply quickly because the mandate institutions have isn't fast buying and selling. It's more to hold, to hedge, and to diversify their already existing portfolios. Get that freaking good stuff from the weekend out my nose. You know what time it is, Legend. It's Christmas. No, I'm joking. I'm talking about freaking, you know, what's the stuff we put on the cake? The white powder on the cake. Anyway, where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? I'm doing the forecast and I'm just where are we going? The powder, you know, the white powder get on the cake? Christmas. Anyway, so yeah, 30% would be crazy. I don't think we get it. 20% would be where I think we're going to aim to be, and that's going to create a lack of liquidity on the order books. And I do think, guys, that 2024, we're going to see this climb towards 20%. And I do think the price of Bitcoin is going to be affected by that. The ETF, just to make it very clear, the ETF, when it gets announced in the next couple of weeks at the start of this year, 2024, it's very unlikely the price is going to move. It's going to move in an erratic, volatile way. Okay, it's going to probably jump up and then jump down, but it's not going to move sustainably or with a lot of substance behind it directly when the ETF is announced. It's going to very likely, guys, be the biggest buy the rumor, sell the news event. It's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. It's probably going to be the biggest sell the news you've ever seen in crypto's history. It's likely going to gap up and it's going to come straight back the other way, okay? Because it's been priced in. And you're going to get a lot of FOMO coming in, a lot of longs, and it's going to get pretty exacerbated to the upside. And I do think there's going to be a snap back. And the really, really key part of this whole ETF, guys, where a lot of people miss, is just that this Bitcoin is coming off the books. And I had a conversation with this with a buddy actually yesterday. And I was saying, you know, the exchanges, the manipulators, the whales, the market movers, the market makers, they can move the price of Bitcoin. But they can only move the price of Bitcoin on the intraday lower time frames. And they can make the candle wick up a couple thousand here or there, okay? But institutions and manipulators, right, they can't move or sway where the general ship is going, okay? So the analogy I used is this. The supply coming off the books of Bitcoin is like the ship. The ship is going, and it's going to go a certain direction. The exchanges, the manipulators, the market movers, and the market makers, they're like those kind of tugboats, those small boats which try and nudge the big ship in the right direction when it's coming into port. The boat's going into port, That's going to happen. They're just nudging it on its way in, trying to manipulate on its way in. This is my analogy for the ETF. The ETF is not going to move the price instantly, but it's going to create the ship's direction. And the ship's direction is going to be more supply Bitcoin coming off the books. And it's going to be held by institutions which don't have the mandate to buy and sell quickly. In this case, if they buy, they won't sell quickly, which means that the ship is moving towards the upside. And there's going to be manipulators and fuckery and all this kind of stuff. We get it. But they're not completely controlling the ship. They're only controlling the little niggles on the way across. I hope I'm making that analogy clear. And if this is going to be a longer video, guys. So I'm saying to you, sit back, relax, chillax, keep it real. So, Bitcoin's coming off supply. We've seen that 9.4%. Okay, we're at that now. When the ETF is announced, I do think there's going to be volatility. I do think there could be a wick above. I think it's going to go up first. But I do think Bitcoin, guys, in a pretty high probability state, around 70%, I think, Bitcoin is going to come and retest this KSR level of $30,000. I think Bitcoin is going to retest 30K again this year, as in 2024. Obviously, right now, the video I'm doing right now is 2023 still. 2024, I do think this KSR level is going to get tagged. There aren't many instances in the past where you don't come back and tag a substantial or significant level like 30,000. And guys, these levels, you see these lines on the screen, very simple. It's just the highs, the lows, the open, and the close. That's all this is. In my trading course, I show you how to do this. I'll show you my thesis, how I draw my charts. Let's jump to a weekly, guys. Let's go down a time frame, and you can see that these lines, guys, were predetermined lines. These were just the high. This is the yearly candles, the high, the low, the open, the close. That's all these lines are. And look how almost beautifully. I don't like using the word beautiful because subjective, but look how nicely, or look how amazing it is. These lines are looking at the levels where Bitcoin has stopped or found support in the last prior year. Very, very nice area. We've got 3 or 4 lines which are coming in at $30,000. Very crucial. We have 2 lines coming in at around 46 to 48K. I've been calling for 48K for a while. I said if the long to short ratio gets crazy, we'll go into that in a second. We're going to go to 48K. And guys, as you well know on this channel, I was calling it 25K. If we hold 25K, we're going to very likely look for significantly higher prices, and you're long until proven otherwise, and that's what we've done. I'm going to go into where I think this stops and where the top is, potentially in a second, but we know long until proven otherwise, guys, have been a very, very good year, and a lot of people have been caught off guard with this. A lot of more amateur, let's just say novice traders have got caught off guard by this, so we can caught offside. And we've had a very, very good year, and essentially this whole year has been up, except for a few higher lows. We had the bear market rally, we held 25, and we continued. Very, very nice. So I do think, guys, that just going by the balance of probabilities is very, very simple analysis. The reason I'm making this so simple is because you don't need to complicate it for higher time frames. You really don't. Keep it simple. I'll go into some more technical factors. I'm going to go through all of my indicators. I'm going to go through an index as well, which you already know, and give you an idea of like the nitty-gritty of what's going on. But to be very clear, as the price rises quickly, just going by simple, flat, traditional principles in trading, as the price rises quickly, more and more people take profit. When things jump fast, that's why its relative strength is high. The relative strength goes up. People are like, okay, I'm going to take some profit on this. If something jumps up 10% tomorrow, the first thing people do is go and sell. Also, people are less likely to want to buy if the price rises a lot in a day or a year or a month. If Bitcoin goes, think about it very, very simply. If you have something in a shop which you want to buy, and you're like, it costs $100, and then suddenly in a month it just jumps to 1,000. You're just like, nah, I'm not buying. It was $100 a month ago. I'm not buying that now. You wait. Same as Bitcoin, same as any market, same as any price of anything. So I do think, guys, there's going to be a cooling off period. I know a lot of guys are saying, no, it's now time to go to all-time highs. And yes, it can happen. But I would say the balance of probabilities, guys, between 42 and 48K, depending on the long to short ratio, I actually do think we're going to come back down and retest that $30,000 region in 2024. That's my hunch. That's what I think is going to happen. I obviously have a plan of action if it doesn't happen, and I'll go into that in a second. But that's what I think is quite likely to happen on Bitcoin. A higher probability than not. If we never ever get the retest of it, we're probably just going to set up for something more crazy in the future, okay? You're going to build up some sort of sustained tension and potentially have a more catastrophic move to the downside later. The market is energy. It's a spring. You can't get away from it. There's somewhere Bitcoin is going. The ship is going somewhere, and its fate is destined to go somewhere. But the journey there, it can be a million different things, but the journey is usually fair to everybody, and it allows people to get on and get off, and it goes on its own journey, its own route, and usually those routes and journeys, as long as it might take, they respect certain principles, okay? So what I'm thinking is I do think $30,000 will get retested. I think most of 2024, actually, guys, until the first 6 months, is quite likely spent between 48 and 30,000. I do think by the end of the year, I do think not by the end of the year. I actually think by mid-year, when the halving happens, and I'll go into a halving chart in a minute, I actually do think we're going to be trading above the all-time high. I think potentially halfway through 2024, we could be testing the previous all-time high. I think we could be testing it, and I think we could be looking to see it as resistance once or twice, maybe even 3 or 4 times. And I think that between the middle of next year, 2024, I do think we could be trying to test the all-time high. And I think by the end of next year, going on to 25, into mid-25, that's when we're going to have the epic blow off top of Bitcoin. There's 100K there. I do think we're going to go higher as well. I've already said my longer-term, prediction of where I think the bull market tops out. Let me get my chart up for you now and just quickly show you. So I'll do this in real time with you guys. Like I said, it's going to be a slightly longer video. So this is on the weekly chart, guys. I think Bitcoin, okay, and I don't want to go too into this because I've done this many, many times, but I will just give you a quick glance of what I think. I think Bitcoin is going to go from around 260,000, between 260 and around 150K. Between there and there, I think that's where we top. The reason it's quite a broad estimate is because it has to be a broad estimate because it's an all-sky breakout. There's nothing, and anything can happen. And another reason why it's more broad is because if anyone tells you the exact number it's going to is lying to you, because there are unforeseen facts in the future which we have no idea that can happen, like black swan events. So if there is a black swan event, and the 3 black swan events I think are capable of happening, is we either have a massive systemic war. We know who's involved with those. We have a fiat currency collapse. Okay, that's a massive thing which could make the Bitcoin's price do something crazy. And the third one would be a new world order type event. We don't know what exactly would it be, but some sort of change in whichever nation is running the world at any specific point. Okay, so that would be, say, China everyone moves to her renminbi and uses a different fiat currency. Not a fiat currency collapse, but a new world orders type event. America falls as the power, and another power rises. That's going to change a lot of things as well, because the pricing mechanism won't be US dollars to Bitcoin. It'll be something else, can cause a lot of volatility. So if there's none of those things, which a lot of those things could potentially happen, like those are 3 big things on the table right now, and AI as well, but I actually don't think AI is a threat. I don't think AI is a threat to trading, actually. I don't think it is. I've done another video on that. I don't think it's a threat to trading. The pure physics of buying and selling a price of something means the price moves when you buy it. So an AI can never beat the market, because if the AI gets too smart, it has to put too much money on the same price which everybody wants to get, which means it can't get its own price. That's the beauty of trading. So if the world is normal and we don't get a black swan, I think between 150 and 260 is my target, and I think that's just going by completely logical. The only thing you can do is do a Fibonacci extension. I use Fibonacci sequences and numbers a lot in my analysis. And I do believe that Fibonacci numbers do come up a lot in nature. The mathematical sequence by the sum of the prior 2 numbers equaling that number and just doing that constantly comes up a lot in nature. So I do think that quite likely will be what happened, is a Fibonacci extension to around the 2618. And that's what I'm thinking about Bitcoin. Between 150 and 260, okay, that's what I think is going to happen. Now, let me zip back down to everyone has their long-term charts, don't they? Whatever. We've all got that. And I don't think it's even that important to sit there and say, I think Bitcoin's going to go to this number. What's more important is finding out the plan. What's the plan of action? Okay, so I'm going to go into my plan now. Let me make one more point, though, to reiterate what I'm saying here. The halving. I completely forgot what I was going to say. The halving, let me go back to my halving chart, is here. So the halving is coming up. We're looking at around the 1st of April. That's what I've got estimated here. And look, guys, just want to make it really simple. The halving event is an event which is going to cause some volatility. I'm not going to say 100%, but every single prior cycle. So the pink line you can see on the screen is the halving event. Okay, so you can see here, guys, massive volatility during halving. We actually rallied 60% down 40%. Nuked all the way down to nearly the lows, rallied back up. Halving, guess what, was around that time. We're going to get some more volatility, guys, around this halving event. So the middle of next year, guys, like I said, I do think Bitcoin is going to be careering towards its all-time high, which I think is quite logical. I think that's the only way, that's all you can think of is, like, obviously Bitcoin, institutions getting in, all the things having macro smacko as well. I'll go into that in a second, but price action alone, we're looking pretty good for that, for this uptrend to continue. So all the numbers and all the figures are saying, look, we're going to come test all-time highs, but it doesn't mean we're not going to have a blip on the radar, or we're going to have we're not out of the woods in terms of just going up only now. The halving is around 1st of April, and I do think we're going to get something, okay? We're going to get some sort of blow off top over the news of the ETF announcement. I do think we're going to snap back. I've said that multiple times, and I do think $30,000 gets retested. That's where the probability lies in my camp of my experience looking at charts for more than a decade, okay? This is where I'm looking at to get some sort of retest back in. Might take a while. It might be quick. It might be slow, okay? Who knows about that? But I just think that between now and the middle of next year, going into the summer, get that summer period going, and then we probably have some sort of Halloween frenzy, maybe some volatility, and then into the end of next year, I think it's going to be very, very good. I do think Bitcoin could go to 150, 260K. For now, we're not there yet. We need to keep our eye on the ball. Now, this might not happen, guys. You know, this coming back to retest $30,000 is just where I think, what's my prediction? You know, that's what I think is going to happen, guys. I do think it's going to come back, and then we're going to find it as support. Very, very good buying opportunity. Probably the best buying opportunity you can get, and then we'll continue higher from there. Okay? If we don't get it, guys, very simply put, what you're trying to do is, like every other fucking noob in this space will say, you're trying to get in on pullbacks and buy the dip. Not to the level where you put all your money in and that's it, okay? That's not what you're trying to do yet. There is going to be a time where it's up only and it's only longs. Right now, there are still shorts on the table. We're still not even broken all-time high. I was still short in the market during COVID. I was short in the market before the prior market. I only started saying to everyone in my channel when Bitcoin went from broke $20,000. And I said, look, guys, I'm not looking for shorts. I'm just going long. And remember, I was long, all the way to 70K. And then I got stopped out. Tried to get into another long when we broke down at about 40. Got stopped. Lower high, and then we nuked. And everyone was like, oh, but you missed the nuke. It was like, well, who cares? I was long only. That's my whole strategy. Going up with it. Won 25 trades in a row. Got stopped out in the last one. Crazy, crazy gains. And that's essentially how I became, you know, I was a millionaire actually before I had a YouTube channel, okay? So this is one of my little stories. I won't go into it too much, but I was a trader first. I was not a YouTuber first. I was a trader first. I used to own a hedge fund. I had a hedge fund called Titan Investment. I used to manage and trade other people's money. And that happened before crypto. It was the beginning of crypto for sure. And crypto was one of my biggest winners, but that was before. So that cycle where I was long only made me into multi-millionaire, okay? Just want to go into that just so you know. And right, so let's get back into this analysis. So I do think we're going to get a stop off, guys. And I'm going to go to the medium term now and the short term. But I think, guys, middle of next year, around, let's just say the beginning of the summer, we're probably going to be breaking the all-time highs, especially if we get these ETF announcements. Here, I do think there's going to be some volatility. I do think we're actually going to come down and retest $30,000 after halving. I think we're going to spend most of 2024 here. 6 months, not most, 6 months. 6 months this area, probably around 3 months, and then the rest will be above. We'll be breaking all-time highs and moving up towards around 150 to 260K. 100K obviously is going to be volatile as well. Because we've got to remember, guys, the MDX 100K party, the BTC MDX 100K party is going to have to happen here. Imagine if we just did this. We came into it, we wicked into it by $1 and then just nuked to like 1K. I'm like, all right, guys, we're still doing the 100K MDX party, motherfuckers. Let's fucking go. We're at 1K BTC, but I said it. We went to $100,000, $100, or $100,001. That would actually maybe, that'd be even funnier. The whole party would be even funnier. It'd be like a sorrow funeral for Bitcoin. It'd be even funnier. But so yeah, mid next year, I think we're breaking out. I think we've got some volatility for basically 6 months, or maybe into the end or slightly towards the end of next year. But the summer, we're looking good. Coming into that summer, we're looking good, guys. If we get the volatility, get it out of the way 6 months to a year, we're looking pretty fire. So there's one more way to reiterate that point. I'm not going to go over too much, but you can see here, guys, that we had halving, came through it, volatility around it. Into that summer, that's when it all started heating up. And actually, towards that summer, it's like September, then we broke out towards the end of the year. But you could see towards that, after that 6 months period, so beginning of the year, into the middle of the year, coming into summer, everything began to get super hot, just like the fucking weather. That's what I think is going to happen here, guys. I think we're going to be getting super hot. I think it's something like this, back in, getting super hot towards, after that 6 months period, but coming into this to retest this. Doesn't mean we have to be breaking out, crazy yet. But I do think by the end of the year, we could be looking at a breakout and breaking the all-time high and going for it. That's the general consensus. 6 months after first 6 months goes, that second 6 months, end of the 6 months is when we're looking pretty hot, getting towards the highs. And then end of the year into 2025 summer, then that's when we do our big bull market. Okay, just want to reiterate the point a million times. I know it's a bit going over and over again, but this video will likely be clipped. This video will likely go on to other channels. That other prediction went completely viral about 6 months after I did it. You know, it was on loads of different websites, loads of people talking about it. So I know these videos, I just want to get the point completely clear. And we got time. It's Christmas. It's New Year. What are you doing anyway? We're just drinking, chilling. Well, what are we doing? Like, we're just waiting for the new year to happen. It's that little Goldilocks period where we're all just chilling out with our families. I suppose it's actually the best time of the year. So let's go medium term, leggies, and let's bring up the oscillators and let's get in there. So medium to short term, I've kind of already expressed my medium term plays. You know, we've had this really nice move off the whole lows of the year, and we have these Fibonacci levels, and I do think the 618 retracement will be the top of this specific mover in. If we get one more, like we've also the one more, the bug one more, the one more, sir. If we get the one more, I think the 618 really does cap it. If we do see the 786, fair fucking play to Bitcoin, and that's going to be, it's going to encompass the long to short ratio. Long to short ratio isn't really in the favor of the bulls right now. You know, we're beginning to see, those longs begin to pile in. We're actually at 55% long right now on the medium. Well, this is actually 24 hours. This is short-term analysis I'm doing right now. But right now, guys, just generally speaking, the price action of Bitcoin, we have 55% of the market is long, which doesn't bode in the bull's favor. To get that, we want to see it 60, 70% long. Sorry, 67% short. Shorts are the fuel to go up, okay? So I think the 618 really will cap this. And then I think it's, we're coming down a bit. Whether we come to 30K or not, I just think that we're coming towards 30K before we end up coming up to here, okay? I think we get a cool-off period first. I think that's the logical thing to look at. And then the plan is, right, if we do come up to it, see it as resistance, if it does nuke a little bit, you're still looking to get it at the relevant support levels on the way down for stops to then see which one is it going to bounce on, okay? And you can even head short, which would be really nice. But let's go into the short-term trades anyway. So the plan really, guys, for that medium term, is 618 potentially coming down. There are potentially going to be some shorts to be played, but there is still going to have to be the narrative in your mind of buying the dip on the way down. We've had a huge rally, guys, in the last 6 months, and the whole year's been great. You do have to have in your head relevant levels to buy on the way down with a 1% stop, and be prepared to lose 1% on the way down a few times to then catch that global macro bottom. Okay, that's the plan. Because it comes down, fine. If it doesn't come down to $30,000, you don't wait. I'm not going to buy at all before 30K. MDX said it's going to 30K. I'm not buying, and it's just going to 70, 80, drops down to 50, 70, 90. You're like, no, that's not what we're doing here. I'm not saying wait for that hunch. There needs to be relevant levels you need to buy on the way down to potentially catch, just in case the invalidation that I'm wrong, we don't go to 30, or we might go to 32, right? So we have to have some analysis there which says I'm going to buy on the way down when this does eventually top out. And if it doesn't top out, guys, then you just got to be on the micro long until proven otherwise, like we've said. And I've said from the very beginning, guys, that 25K I'm long until proven otherwise. I'm still long until proven otherwise with this move. And then short term, guys, is looking very nice on Bitcoin actually. For, let's just call it. We got to say this is an ascending formation, building up for an ascending formation. But there are too many people calling for this. I spotted this ascending formation, ascending triangle, before anyone even knew it existed, and it turned into a parabola. Okay. There's a lot of people now calling for this being the next ascending triangle, which makes me doubtful. But we have to go by the charts, and we have to be like, okay, what's going on? I said previously, I think 60%, I think that this was the top. I said 60% that we're in for a top here. And right now, we still haven't managed to break that high. So that still stands. But there is a clear invalidation. And let's be completely fair here. 60%, I said, the top's in. When we made this low, I said, look, we're not shorting here, we're waiting. And I had multiple instances, guys. I had a very successful trade on that very fast move down. You can actually see it more clearly on the hourly time frame. This is a perfect setup, guys, on the short-term time frames. If you guys have been watching these videos, you know this. I had a really nice short on this move down, caught that, and then I shorted again all the way back down to here to the higher low. Very similar, guys, to, let me quickly get it for you. We're doing a longer video, but you guys know that I said on stream that I had a $300,000 short on this piece of price action. If I can find it, I will find it. And we're going to sit here until we do. I think it's around here somewhere. Yeah, we're getting close. It's one of these tops. Here it is. So this is exactly the same thing which happened up there, guys. And I don't want to go over it again, so I've already spoken about it. But you have a base, You have a lower low and a lower high. That was the short. You had the one wick down first, continue, and then you got the continuation down. This is exactly the same distribution style topping formation, which we just got. And that was 2 giga shorts, which did me very well. I didn't have 300K short on these specific ones, but let me just show you guys. You can see it very clearly. We had the base, lower high, base, lower low, lower high, short, short, rounded off. Very exactly the same. So now what we want to look for, guys, we had this level here, didn't we? And I had said, look, we're looking to buy 42. I won't go into all the charts and everything. I'll put something on the screen if I can find it. But I changed my analysis and I said, look, the invalidation is clear. The probability of that being the top now has gone down. And you're looking to buy 42K for the bounce. I'll put something on the screen now, guys, so you can see that. That was in my VIP group, in the trading group. And guys, just want to mention, don't want to shill, but I'm saying to you right now, if you want to put yourself in a good position right now for this bull market, you get MDX Algo at mdxalgo.com. I'm not going to say anymore. People in the comments of this video will tell you we have thousands of people taking their trading to ultimately professional or pro or profitable levels, because what I built there is my life's work. It's my life's work. That's what I built. You guys give me money, I give you services help which make you profitable. Cost me between $20,000 and $25,000 a month to run the company. You then pay me, I get to increase the services which I can provide. You become more profitable, in turn mean you can buy the products and services more for longer. It doesn't make any more sense than that. So in the short term, guys, this is an ascending formation, okay? We have got higher lows. It's consistently higher lows. You know, we're doing it. It could, likely continue and hold this up and go for it. I think if we do get an ascending triangle on this, which it does look like it's playing out, it looks like it could be. I think it's the last hurrah, and I do think that we're going to get stopped at around between 48K. I think it's going to be the last one. It's just one more. But my topping prediction. Let me go on the 4 hour to make it a little bit clearer. I said that I do think it's a 60% chance the top is in, and you got to go by that. 60% isn't a high percentage; it's just more than likely because we got that systemic break of the prior area of support. So we have the lower low, and that's where we got those nice shorts in. So that's textbook. 60%. Have a slight lower high here as well. So arguably you could have something. It's pincering, and the way you could go about trading this, guys, on the short term right now is by saying a couple of things. A few lines in the sand. 42,000 is very crucial. It's a key SR level, support, resistance. It goes on resistance, support. So first thing is break down here, lose that level, up, see that as a resistance. I think quite likely it's done, okay? Because then you got confluence, you got this ascending, sloping trend line, which I don't put that much weight on, but you've got some confluence there where you've broken 42K key SR level. You're looking pretty weak, lower low, broken these, tapping the liquidity out. If you inverted that, you'd be like, yeah, we're time to fucking moon, aren't we? So that's what I'm looking at. So that's the bearish scenario, really. If you see that, that's the short. It's 42K is the short. Like I said, 42K is the buy. I've said it multiple times, guys. I said it on that tweet I did in my not my tweet, in that message. Hi guys, I message you. I tweet you in my group. It's 42 is the KSR level. It's the inflection point. There's probably a million indicators which will show the same thing, where it's like, oh yes, the point of control. The point of control is where all the action's happening, and 42K is where all the action's happening. And if you lose that, you lose the node. I used to call it the node back in the day because I used to have that indicator with the node signal. You're fucked, basically, and that's going to be the trade. On the counter, I think it's looking probably better, at this point right now. Holding 42, if you lose 42 in the next few days or hours, depending on what Bitcoin wants to shit the bed or not, with its ADHD, its chronically diagnosed ADHD symptoms it has. So I would say, as of right now, if it holds 42 again, we're coming up. And if you see this type of price action where it's just battering that top side, we're going to get probably continuation up to 48K on this. And then 48K is going to be the stopping point for me. And if this does coincide, let me make a point here. If we do get this ascending formation and it coincides nicely with this ETF announcement, it could get very explosive, okay? We could go higher than 48, the velocity could get crazy, and we could end up going somewhere stupid like 55, maybe even just something crazy, okay? But I do think it'll be followed up by a significant pullback, guys, on Bitcoin after that. I think it's going to be the biggest buy the rumor, sell the news event in crypto's history. I've said that multiple times. Again, I said that before people even thinking about it. When I said 25K hold, I was saying, look, we're probably going to get some of that ETF announcement when it comes out. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be volatile. It's going to be crazy. But just a word of advice and the plan you have to have is that you go into every single trade with a stop loss and you don't let yourself lose. Look, if you want to be crazy in crypto, like I know it's a little bit different than most markets. People do take a little bit of risk in this market. It's fun. I get it. If you're going to trade higher than 1 or 2% of your portfolio, bring down the leverage, take it, some equity, and mess around on some exchanges. But generally speaking, the rules got to be clear. Every trade you go into, don't let yourself lose more than your 1% of your portfolio. So at least you have 100 trades where you could lose without losing everything. And also, you got to think about exponentials on that and growth. So like, if you lose 1%, then you have to lose another 1% on the actual balance you already have. So you get an elliptic curve of retaining your ammunition to fight the battle with the gun. You are the gun. Your money's the ammo. This is the gun. You pull the trigger with your brain. Your money is the ammunition to shoot. If you haven't got any money, you can have a fight. You just shoot fucking blanks every day. Oh yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Well, where's the money? Shooting fucking blanks. You don't go to Ukraine and blast off your fucking blanks and go, oh yeah, we're winning the war. No, you just shoot real fucking bullets. That's money. Anyway, so as of right now, I've got to go into that. It's probably, we have a 60% chance it's at the top. And I would say, it's probably, guys, it's around 60% tops in, but it's a 50-50 on where we break this. Whether we break this or that, it's about 50-50. So I'd have to still say on the balance of probabilities, it's in the middle. I can't really go either way. I've already said 60% the tops in. If we lose 42K, come back up, I'm looking for about 75 to 80% chance the tops in. If we lose 42 and go down here, and then that, if we lose 42 decisively and lose this level and this by a wick, I think the probability increases of this being the top by goes up to 75%. If we come up to here, batter it, consistently hold, that 60% is going to go down to 50%. And it's, the only reason I'm saying 60% in the first place, guys, like I said to you before, is that we've had a break, we've broken some structure, and you're going for the shorts at that point. That was the easiest fucking short in the world. Like, I take that kind of shit with my eyes closed. I already told you that, okay? So that was some very nice money made on those shorts, but we had the invalidation. The invalidation was here, break up, and now, it's a good one. It's a good one. And with the macro events coming, this is the beauty of trading. Sometimes you have to sit back and go, look, this is a good one. Like, anything can really happen. There's not much technical stuff I can look at right here and give you anything more decisive than the levels we got to look at. And that's the beauty of trading. You can look at it as much as you want, but there's some stuff coming, guys, and you got to defend yourself, okay? And that's why I'm saying, get the course, guys. I got a full-blown 20. It's now going to be 36 lessons. We've got more coaches building into it. We have a huge trading course. We have stuff about risk management, Uber fibs. We do all of the psychology. We talk about what the premise is. We talk about the philosophy of trading, psychology of trading, the technical aspects of trading, how to actually implement the strategies, and just how to look at this game. If you watch every single video of those, you're like, wow, okay, I kind of get what this is all about, because a lot of people don't get it. Like, they don't get what this whole game's about. They're like, but you don't know where it's going, so what's the point in technical analysis? Like, no, it's not what we're doing here. We're just trying to give ourselves a higher probability than someone doesn't have access to look at the price. That's all we're trying to do. So yeah, guys, I do think it's around 50-50, but that low on this down is 42K. And that's what I really think is going to happen here, guys, in terms of that long-term, medium-term, and short-term. And I want to go through a few more things, guys. Don't leave yet. Stay around. We've got to go through the other indicators. So CBBI, guys, has bottomed. I think it's very likely. I don't think we're going to go any lower. I already said I'll eat my pint glass if we go below 3. I don't think that's going to happen. Infinite market cap, we're looking good, guys. So Bitcoin is actually about 10, the 10th biggest asset class in the world. Obviously, this isn't taking into account some other types of things in the world. I won't even mention some of them because there's some big market caps of some pretty dirty industries which aren't on there. But 10, it's looking pretty good, guys. 10th biggest asset class at 834 billion. God, I was going to say 300 billion. God, going back into Stone Ages. So I remember when this was 300 billion, now it's 8. So almost at a trill market cap. And then, guys, you've got to look at some other stuff like the dealers. And I've left the dealers to the end because I know you guys love the dealers. And also, it's more of a confluent factor anyway. Now, one of the reasons I do think Bitcoin probably is going to see some sort of downside action is because these guys need to get out of these. I don't think the dealers, the liquidity providers at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, are going to want to be exposed to shorts when the trade is very obviously up. I get a lot of questions about this, and I'll just tell you right now because I'm doing a longer video. I know if you're still here, you're a legend, by the way. If you're watching this 20-minute video, then you're really taking this seriously, and I appreciate that because the more people who watch, the more people who see, all that kind of great stuff. I'm in one of those Zen moods, you know. So the reason there are so many shorts is just because there's so many longs. Like the asset managers are longing the market, right? And the dealers, their job is to match those trades and be the liquidity on the other side. So they have a mandate to do so. If everyone's long on their exchange, they go short. If everyone's short, they go long. Just to fill the books out, equal everything out, make sure everything's good. No crashes, no bullshit, no FTXs. But the dealers take directional trades sometimes. And I don't think the dealers are going to allow themselves to miss at the level that they're at and the track record they have, with only really losing one trade out of 7. And also, we don't know what they're doing on hedging because I haven't got the really good options data I used to have with Skew. So we don't know what they're doing on options, but I don't think they're going to allow themselves to not allow. They're not going to miss this opportunity. You know, this is unforgivable for them to miss this opportunity in terms of why would they just stick short and fill the books the other side when they could just take directional and go long with the asset managers and make money from this, okay? So I think that this is a sign to look for will be this dropping off. If we do see the dealers beginning to drop down, say the price begins to fall a little bit, dealers begin to come out, and then we see the asset manager increasing longs, and then the dealers begin to increase their longs as well, and maybe they're both net long. I just don't think the asset managers are gonna realize a loss. I think they're just gonna hodl for dear life like everybody else. You know, they've been in a huge loss, these guys. You know, they've been up in 70k, they came all the way down, they lost everything like everyone else did. Everyone just hodled. They bought 60k and they hodled to 15, and then now we're here. So it's just they just hodled like everybody else, the asset managers. The dealers didn't. They took directional trades throughout that whole market cycle. They timed the fucking top as well. In terms of when I did my video, I have a video where I timed the day of the top. I did a video as a short, and I said, guys, it's time to put a stop loss in because the dealers just increased their shorts. But, you know, we've never seen this amount of shorts on the dealers before. You can actually go watch that video. If you go on my YouTube channel and you go to the first short I ever uploaded, that video is me saying, I think, guys, it's time to have a fucking stop loss on Bitcoin and long until proven otherwise is looking a little bit difficult because the dealers got short significantly. Watch that video. It's kind of crazy when you look back. So, yeah, I just think that the dealers will eventually take a directional trade on this. I don't think they just won't miss that opportunity. Guys, Santa special, okay, and end of the year special. You can see on the screen probably it says MDX Algo and the trading bot, MDX Trading Bot. So I think, guys, there's a lot of issues right now with MEXC. And I had a MEXC account. I was working with them. I was going to launch a product on MEXC, actually. But I've said, fuck it. I've looked into their shit. It looks really, really bad, guys. I've done a tweet about it. I'll put the tweet somewhere on the screen if you want to read it. But maybe go on Twitter and check that out. But look, guys, if you've got a MEXC account, I would recommend moving away. Get a Bingx account, in my opinion, okay? Because with Bingx, you've got all the products, you've got all the coins, and you've got my trading bot. That's the main reason, my trading bot. If you use the link in the description, guys, to get Bingx, you will get my trading bot. You'll get access to it because you'll be able to see it because we've got it on a private link, so I can take people off if they're taking up the liquidity. You've got to remember with trading bots, guys, there's only a certain amount of liquidity you can buy and sell on. So if there's $1 million on my bot buying certain prices, someone else ain't going to get that price because $1 million will move the price of Bitcoin. So if we limit down the numbers, it means you get a more profitable experience if you stay long term. So yeah, links below, guys. Bingx, get an account, use my link, all the bullshit, and then you get to use my trading bot. And this is something which you need to look into. And this is kind of I've spoken about this many times, guys. But in this market, guys, a lot of people look at me like, how do you do it? How do you make so much money out of Bitcoin? How did you know Bitcoin was going to go up in 2020 move? And how do you know Bitcoin was going to go up to 20K? I didn't know it was going to go 20K, by the way. But I was in the market, long in the market, and buying Bitcoin at $600, okay? People said, how do you do this? Like, friends and family, you know, around the dinner. How do you do it? What's going on? How do you do this shit? It's because there has to be 3 stages of your analysis. Not even your analysis. Your analysis, that's not what I'm saying. Analysis is something. 3 stages of your strategy and how you implement, how you make money. And the first thing is designating certain amounts of your portfolio for different types of things, whether it's an investment, tradable money, looking for swings, scalp trading, leverage trading. Firstly, designate everything out which you think is good. And I would recommend only having about 20% of your money on exchanges to scalp. 50% is basically hodling, and then you're swinging the rest, okay? And to make the most money, guys, you've got to be automating at least 50% of your money. I automate 50% of my cash. If you've been in this channel for a while, You've been seeing me talking about trading bots and buy and sell signals and PA trading and MA trading and signals indicator. You've been hearing me talking about this for years. It's for a reason. You need to automate 50% of your money because you are a human being. You're a blob of matter. You are a monkey. You're a monkey, right? You can't. You have to sleep. You have to scratch your balls. You have to have a shower. You have to fucking talk and feel happy all the time. Oh my God, let's go out and feel happy. Think about those limiting factors. You're not going to be at the computer when you need to all the time. You're going to have issues. You're going to be fucking problems. You're going to have to go out, pick up your fucking family from the airport when you miss a trade. You need to automate 50% of your money because, especially in crypto, even the open and close of SPX was hard. You got to automate 50%. When I had my hedge fund, bang. Automation, buy and sell, 20% on leverage, taking the high probability setups, 30% swing, 50% hodl. So you got to be thinking about this, guys. You have to automate Bingx, get my bot. It's going to help you massively to automate a proportion of your portfolio. I would say 50% hodl, 30% swing, bot, right? Could even do a bit more. 20% you're looking to fire around, okay, on your leverage exchanges. So that's what's going to make it successful. You need to be automating some of your strategy. You need to be swinging some of it. You need to be scalping a smaller proportion. And that's generally speaking how you're going to get profitable. And this is how all big players do it. All of the biggest traders I know, bigger players, institutions, this is how they're designating their shit out. And they're long and they're short, always. Fluid from different levels here. They're reallocating, they're moving. They're never just, I'm buying everything now at this price and then that's it. No, they have lots of different avenues within multiple different facets of their strategy. And that's how you're going to be profitable, much more profitable. And the automation point is so important. I've said it multiple times. Go to mdxalgo.com/automation. I'll put the link in the description. Read the strategy I use. I use a trading bot and I hedge against my trading bot when I think that we're in a range. So I have a swing trading bot, which makes money in swings. Very successful. Made thousands of % the last 3 years. 4,500 gross profit. Net profit goes down to 1.5 after you take, obviously, losses. So if you have a really good successful swing trading strategy, which loses 6 out of 10 trades, what you do is if you use an ATR and you can identify a range, which we're building a bot for that, then you just hedge against it, the buy and sell signals. Limit down the drawdown. The net profit goes up because the gross profit's 4,000%. The net profit, if you never hedged, was only 1.5. Still 1.5Ks. 1,500% gain in 3 years is pretty fucking good. But you can make it, when you hedge against the indicators and you hedge against the bot itself, I got a whole thing written about this. Your net profit goes up, the gross profit stays the same, but you get closer and closer to that gross profit and you reduce the drawdown. Anyway, I've spoken about this multiple times. I just wanted to go on a rant at the end here and tell you that because that's all written on my website, mdxalgo.com/automation. And I've already made all my fucking money, legends. You know, I've made tons of money. Like, I got millions and millions and millions. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It hasn't changed my life, made me any happier. I'm just sitting here. But generally speaking, and I know it's kind of like, oh, is this really true? The truth is, it's more, the world is more about impact than money. I will tell you that right now. It's more about impact, and it's about what you can do to change and do things. Like, the people who are remembered are the people who build amazing things, not the people who just have a big number in their wallet. And sometimes you have to do amazing things to get a big number in your wallet, but the number in your wallet never knew that. It wasn't written. If you wrote it on your fucking tombstone, then you're an absolute fucking psychopath. So you can't even do that. But I'm saying it's about the impact. So the company MDX Algo is about impact. At the end of the day, it's small enough in itself that we're not having a massive impact on the price. So that begins to happen, then we have to do something else. We have to change the bots and designate them out and have a curfew or this, not as many people. But I'm saying MDX Algo and what I do, what I teach, and my bots and all these things, I'm giving it to free for you to firstly help you get successful in trading, because why the fuck not? Also, it's a lot of damaging individuals out there in the market who are going to fuck you over, and they're lying, and a lot of them say they're master traders when they're not. I don't give a fuck if someone tries to say, I think the price is going to go here, but by the way, I don't really know what I'm talking about. Cool. I'm cool with that. I was like that myself. What I'm not cool with is the people who say they're master traders, the dog's bollocks, they know what they're fucking doing, and then they go and give out this fucking bullshit analysis and then say that, yes, this is gospel, and then thousands of people get wrecked, including family members and people I know, like, say, your father. I know people who've done this shit, who are in my family. I'm just like, why the fuck? Like, nah. Like, noobs, cousins, people, I'm just like, legends. This is before I even had a channel. They just watch, obviously, my content now. But I'm going on a bit of a rant here, but I'm trying to say, well, the point is that it's about impact. It's about creating a product. If you guys buy my product, which is thousands of you are doing right now, it means I have more money to put to work in the company to make it better. The better it gets, the more profitable you become. I then make an impact on your life, which actually makes me happy, instead of just making a number out of trading, which doesn't have any connection with human beings, because we are human beings. We do have an emotional connection to each other. So we do have to have something which we do to give to somebody else to feel something. You know, if you really think about it, like the whole concept of it is build a product, you get profitable, you then have more money to give me money so I don't have to trade. Like I told everyone in the beginning of this whole fucking channel, I'm doing an end of year kind of speech at this point now. But the reason I got into trading was not to trade. The reason I got into trading was to get rich and have freedom. I don't want to stare in front of a fucking computer every day, nor does anybody. That's why you want what trading can give you in freedom. You don't. And also like there is a part of me which I do love the charts, and I do love gambling. I love playing the fucking the numbers on the charts. Obviously, when I say gambling, I'm not saying I'm gambling. I'm saying like we like the charts because there is an element of that in it, okay, which can allow yourself to feel certain things in the markets. It's addictive. That's it. Most people are just fucking gambling. There is that part of it, whereas you get in, it's hot. You're smoking cigarettes, you're having fun, you're buying and selling. That's the beginning, and then the process comes later. But I'm saying, look, I love the charts, right? I love it. It's fucking hilarious as well, crypto especially. But it's not why I got into it. I got into trading to make money at the beginning. And that's what I did. I made money in trading. It wasn't fun, wasn't sweet, wasn't sexy. It was fucking bullshit. All the crypto stuff was sweet, fun, sexy, and fun, right? Just getting drunk on stream and stuff. I wasn't getting drunk on stream at the beginning. No, I was not getting drunk at all. I didn't drink for 3 years, not one drop of alcohol for 3 fucking years, between the ages of 23, 24, 25, 26. Didn't drink at all, never went out, was literally grinding, building, trading, had a hedge fund, no fucking time. So all that came later, all right, when it was like, wow, shit, I actually did it, all right? So back to my point, the point of the whole company I have, MDX Algo, is to, you give me money, I don't have to trade as much, I then teach you my wisdom of what I know in trading. I will obviously be trading and actively day trading, so I am, like I said, addicted to it like everybody else. But it's it's like it allows me to enhance my freedom, but then potentially enhance your freedom, which actually gives me a benefit in terms of I will then go to heaven. So please give me the ability to go to heaven so I can help you. You give me money, so I pay for services, 20K a month I spend. Anyway, I'm literally waffling on right now, but if you're still watching this, you're a fucking G. You're a legend if you're still watching this. Like all this shit if you are into it. And I'm just doing my kind of end of year thing, doing the video. Look at those yearly candles. It's gonna be a good next year, guys. And I'm gonna post this video now because I've been talking. I hear my own fucking voice. You're legends. Speak soon. Bye bye.